Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's episode, I've got this Monstera Deliciosa. It's just coming out of winter, it's February at the moment, so it needs a bit of a prune. It's got a lot of leaves that are a bit damaged, some really small ones that aren't amounting to much. So I'm going to be pruning this guy back. I'm also going to be taking a couple of cuttings maybe and seeing if I can propagate this plant. I have propagated this plant before. I'll show you where I made the cuts and where the new growth points formed. So I'll be taking a cutting or two and placing it in a water vessel. I'll be doing a water propagation. It's kind of the best way to do it because there's such big leaves, they won't fit into my propagation boxes that I normally propagate in with perlite. So Monsteras are really easy to propagate. Like I say, I propagated this guy a few times and they've always been successful. So I think I've done it 4 times and each of the times they've grown roots and developed onto nice new plants, and I've sold a couple. But like I say, this guy is looking a bit scraggy, looking a bit unkempt coming out of the winter. So I just want to polish him up, tidy him up, get him ready for spring and summer, and hopefully he'll respond by putting out nice big fenestrated leaves. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to do is locate any yellowing leaves or deformed leaves and just cut them out entirely because we don't want to keep them. So this guy here is looking yellow, so I'll just snip it off right at the base and get rid of him. I've got this one leaf down here which looks a bit strange. Not sure what happened to this leaf, but I don't like the look of it. So in fact, you can see where I last made a cut on this stem, just there. I don't know if you can see that. Last made the cut there. So this is the new growth point that's grown out of it. It's not really amounting to too much, so I might cut that back again, maybe try and propagate that one, a bit of an experiment, but that'll get rid of this kind of deformed looking leaf. So I'm just going to continue and go through any leaves that already, anything that needs tidying up. Try and pull out some of these crispy edges, tidy it up a little bit. There's some more there. Get rid of those. Now, is there anything small, it's not amounting to much? That node there, it's 3 leaves that are really small. They do look quite healthy though. Could try and propagate from there. Like so. So there's 3 leaves here that were small, making the plant look a bit untidy. But I cut underneath the leaf nodes, so I might be able to propagate from there. I'll tidy that up, show you what I'm going to do with that. There's another one here, it's not amounting to much, so I'll make a cut underneath there. And then I will propagate from there. Some roots should start to develop from that point underneath the leaf node. Again, I'll show you the process. And we've got this one leaf here. So I made a cut there in the previous propagation. Nothing's really come from that. So I think I will just take that out entirely, just tidy up the plant a bit. Come around the back and go right to the base of the plants. Like so, and take that out. Okay, so I'm just going to take a step back and just to assess the plants. Taking away most of the smaller leaves that weren't amounting to much. Took off a few deformed ones as well, a few yellowing ones. This one's got a bit of string attached to it for some reason. I'll take that off. So I think all the rest of them are looking all right. Put a bit more on there. So all the rest of them are nice big leaves, which is what you want with a Monstera. Particularly those ones there, I really like those ones, they look lovely. So there is a stem piece there that I've just cut off entirely. So there should be a new growth point coming out from there. It's normally what happens when you make a cut on a stem. New growth point normally comes out, but if it doesn't amount to much, then I'll probably just cut it right back down to where the soil is. But it should develop a new shoot. Alright then guys, so I finished making my cuts, finished tidying up the Monstera Deliciosa in my bedroom. This is everything I took off here. So I've got this nice stem piece here with a leaf node on it that should propagate. into a new plant. Some roots should develop from this leaf node that I took the cut. Got this deformed looking leaf here that I will discard. I took that off of this leaf node, so I've only got this piece left. So as an experiment, I think I'm going to just pop this in my propagation box with my perlite mix, pop it in and just see if it develops roots, if it develops any new growth. So I'll update you guys with that. Obviously I've got my yellow leaf that I took off, these smaller leaves here as well. Another leaf there with a leaf node and an aerial root. So hopefully once I put it into my glass filled with water, that should develop roots. So I've got two, I've got another one there. And then I've got this one with 3 leaves. But what I could do here is there's actually 3 aerial roots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim, there's an aerial root there for this leaf, or these 2 leaves, and there's an aerial root here for this leaf. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut just underneath that leaf node there, so that I will propagate and we should get some roots developing from that point. And then with this guy, I'm going to cut just underneath that leaf node just to tidy it up. We should get some roots and new growth coming from that point. So all we need to do now, I've got a glass here filled with water. Make sure you have a clear glass. So cuttings can root in water, perlite or soil. I think the last ones I did, I just put them in straight in soil and they develop roots just fine. But I'm gonna put it in this glass vessel, clear glass vessel, so I can keep an eye on the roots, and it can be quite attractive to see the roots developing and filling the glass. So all we need to do is just pop it in like that. You can put more than one in. This guy, do I want to take off one of the leaves? I'll take off that leaf. Like so. You want to really only have one leaf on a Monstera propagation, because otherwise there'll be too much moisture loss from the leaf surface. Just want to have a nice simple one leaf plant, otherwise it might not develop roots so easily. So I'll pop that in there as well. There's no leaf node on that, so I'll discard that. This guy here, I'll just tidy up that little knob there, and I'll pop that in. And then this guy here is fine, I'll pop that in as well. So I've got 5 Monstera propagations plus this little leaf node nobule that I'm going to put in perlite. So I'll do that now actually, just while I'm on camera. So I've got my propagation box here with all my other propagation projects, just filled with perlite. I've moistened it with water, so I'm just going to stick that in if I find room. Stick it in so it's more or less covered where the roots are going to come out, and then put the lid back on. Keep that in a bright spot in my house and we'll see what happens. I'll update you on that. This one I'm going to put on my east facing, or near my east facing window. Don't want it in direct sunlight, but indirect light should do fine. Within a few weeks we should start to see some root development, particularly from the leaf nodes. They should start to get a bit longer, and then from that point new root points will start to develop, and then from that point you can just pot it up into soil, and then you should start to see some new leaf sprouting within a couple of months. Really easy process on how to propagate this Monstera. You can do it just when you're pruning your plant, just tidying it up, getting rid of some of the leaves that are looking a bit scraggly, not really adding much to the plant. So really simple process. I'll update you on this when I start to see some action, when I start to see some roots. So subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when that comes out. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, guys. Any comments, if you have any questions about what I've done today, then please do leave it in the comments. I will respond. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.